Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 83. And so in this episode, I think I'm going to start a new build. I off screen started working on the helicopter from episode 23 again. That's going to be a lot of just in depth work on panel, and because of its nature, where it has two polar props, it's going to need a bunch of work just on stability to get that yaw system to work correctly for the different phases of flight. So I'm going to do that off screen. And so one thing I found we're missing is I kind of like to go through, play, do some missions, and then I start to really see what I'm missing. And so one of the things that happened last episode was went ahead and we rescued a couple people who had a car crash. And I went and I slept in the bed, and I was going to do one more mission, and every mission that kept coming out was kind of the classic rescue out in the water. And so we started this career build series with the tugboat. And so the tugboat, I had upgeared it so it was a little bit faster than it should be, and it made it so that it was not great at pulling heavy loads. And then once we kind of moved on from there, I re-geared it so that it was much lower geared, which reduces speed but increases pulling power like a tugboat should be. And so one thing that we're kind of missing is a fast boat that can go out there, do a quick rescue, and come back. And so I think I'm going to play with some new things that I haven't really played with. I may or may not do water jets. I have yet to really play with water jets too much. That would be kind of fun. So I'm thinking of building a powerful, kind of almost like a race boat, and kind of make it so that we can have a quick boat to do some missions. And also, I'm really trying to cut down on any teleporting. I do it if, like, if I get halfway across the map and I'm getting a fire extinguisher, I'm going to teleport. But generally, if I need to get from point A to B or go from base to base, I'm going to use vehicles. So I built some cars, have some airplanes that can quickly transition me from base to base, and now I want to build a boat so that we can do both rescues and transitions. So let's go ahead and we'll jump to the workbench. And as with many of my builds, I'm going to start with some reference material. All right, so for the keyword search, I did a 1980 cigarette boat. And so the 1980s was a fabulous decade. Um, there are a few that match it. And so the 80s had some really cool boats that they called cigarette boats, as you can see here. Here's one with cigarette on the side. And so there were some cool cigarette boats, and so that's what we used to call them when we were kids. Was cigarette boats were the super fast race boats, and so I kind of want to make it inboard. I don't know if I'm going to do water jets. I'm not a huge fan of water jets. I'd kind of like to make it inboard outboard type of prop. So I'm looking at some of the reference material here, and I want it to be a good size. Like this one is pretty cool, this AMG. And so kind of look at some of the setups. I don't want to do outboard, definitely inboard, outboard, or an inboard. Here's a cigarette there. So kind of like the quintessential cigarette boat was, see if we can get this image to open up and not be ridiculous. Actually, that's not too bad. So as you can see, it has a very long bow, very sharp, and then it has a a little bit aft of mid cockpit, and so generally it was open top, and then you'd have the motors in the back here. You'd have big motors, really cool sounding, and so I think that's kind of what we're going to go for here. There's a picture of the screws. See, they're inboard outboards on this one. So really some cool design work here that I think. This is a twin hull. So one of my thoughts was a twin hull. I would like to, and I think we need. Here's a full inboard. I kind of like a full inboard. That could be an inboard outboard. I can't tell. It's kind of under the water line. Here's another cigarette boat. So here's one here. You can kind of see the cockpit. And then you'd have passenger seats, not for the full-on race ones, but used to in Florida, we used to see these a lot, and they go screaming down. So kind of looking at them. Let's see if I can find an interior for it. So that's the cockpit there. And then right here, they would have a walkthrough. And you could open that up and walk through, and there's like usually just a couple beds down there. But we'll put some seat, so we'll have plenty of seating back here for rescues. And then here's like the interior of it there. So some more seating, or most likely maybe a kitchenette and a bed so that we can sleep between missions. There's another interior shot there. As you can see, you definitely do not want to be at the bow while it's at full speed. That would be vomitous. All right, so got some good information on this. Let's go see if we can. We'll do cigarette boat specifications. All right, and I'm gonna see if I can get some length beam, stuff like that, on this. So we have engine specs 3. Let's see, fiberglass beam is 8 feet and length is 35. So 35 to 8. So let's kind of keep that in mind. All right, so we're working 35 to 8, and so we'll go ahead and we'll say 3 meters. So we're at here. So about 3 meters. So let's go ahead and I'll just do a conversion. So we're talking about a 4.375. So for every meter it is wide, it should be 4 meters long, essentially. So kind of start building and kind of decide what we want here. So turn on symmetry. And what are we looking at width-wise there? That is going to be 3.75 meters. What's the block count? We want an odd number, 15. So 15 wide sounds good. So it would be 3.75, 3.75, and we'll do times 3.75 times 4.3. So we're talking about a 16. And let's give that a look and see what we think of that for a length here. So we'll go by 15.75 on that. All right, so that's about length to beam ratio right there. That looks pretty good. That's not too shabby. All right, and it's going to be heavily pointed. So we'll start trying to draw out a shape here. So kind of figure block there, and then probably 1x4s to start with. All right, so we'll throw in some wedges. And I'm just going to play with some shapes, kind of see where we're at here. I don't want this boat to take forever. So that is a little bit on the pokey side there. All right, so we definitely want a little more transition there. We want a little more transition up towards the top. So let's try, but it should be pretty sharp. So let's go 1 wedges here to 2 wedges. And then we'll go 4 wedges there. And then we'll start coming back off here, I think. Nope. So let's see how abrupt we're going to get there. Doesn't look too bad on... It looks pretty good, I think. All right, that's pretty good shape-wise, I think. Let's go ahead and we'll rack it back. And then the backs were pretty squared off. Yeah, they square off pretty much. There's a little bit of an angle in the back, but very minimal. You're talking like maybe a 1 wedge here. Very minimal square off. So talking something like that. I'm thinking I'm going classic V hull. I don't think I'm going to go cat or anything. That's kind of the shaping I'm thinking there. Yeah, let's start working down the bow. So let's try. Don't know how sharp I want to make this. They're pretty sharp, but we can use a bunch of tricks to try to get this a little bit more. So we're starting here with 1 wedges. Let's finish up the 1 wedges here. Start walking it down dimensionally the way it is and see where I can get to here. So let's go pyramids here. And I'll start walking it down and see what the hull looks like and if I'm happy with it. All right. Gonna probably be a pretty simplistic hull just because of kind of the nature of this type of boat. So the problem is it's coming in a little bit fast, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's back it out just a hair. And let's go vertical 1x2s here. And see if I can't crank it around. So let's go the first layer. We'll go a little bit tall and then start cutting back. So go back into pyramids here. Do 2x4s here. All right, and then we'll do 2x2s. It was just cutting down a little bit too quick. So, all right, so there is a better start. Let's go 2 on that. And we'll see where we're at there. And then I think we'll start being able to go back down to the 1s after that. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's working out pretty well for me. Yep, that's starting to look pretty good, I think, and that's going to hopefully keep it a little bit more reasonable. So what are we talking here? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. That's about half a character height there. Dare I go 1 more down with 2s? I think I do. I think I'm going to go 1 more set down like so. And then I'll start going into 1s for the transition. I don't want to come down too fast. And I'm trying not to have to do too many buoyancy tricks to get this sucker to run. So if I go too much slope on it, it's going to be a pain to finish up. So now we'll switch to 1s now. And I think that rounds us out pretty good for a bow. We won't be able to tell till I get it in the water and kind of see spatially how it looks, but we'll check the hull in a second here. Should be pretty close to be able to check it out. All right, we'll flatten it there. All right, nice. And let's start getting these transitions in. All right. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Nice flat bottom's going to help us get up on plane. And then I think we'll run 2 1 wedges here for the sides. And then one of the benefits of a boat like this is they have inboard outboards. They actually stick off the back and they articulate. And so I can have a very flat back. I don't need a transom. I don't think these even really had transoms. They're pretty, like here I found a picture of the back. It pretty much abruptly stops. And so that's nice. I can do has like an overhang transom, and then I can just do a flat back on it, and it has inboard outboard. So an inboard outboard, it's, as the name suggests, it's kind of a combination of an inboard and outboard. So it will articulate like a outboard, but the engines are inboard. And so very flat back on them, stern. So this, everything looks huge in the editor, but to put it in perspective, that right there is the height of a character. So that's the height of a person right there. So this looks big. It is not. And so you start to get used to the perception of if it's going to be enormous or not. All right. All right, so I'm trying to think. So they often slope down into the back. But I'm just going to put the decking on here, and then I'll work on bringing up a rail after that. But definitely been seeing a deficit in what I have for, I can't really do any fast boat rescues, so this will hopefully help with that. Let's check it on the water. Let's stick it down in the drink poo, spawn it up, and see where we're at here. So I don't want this to be enormous. Should be able to kind of look at it with my character and get some sort of perception. That's looking pretty good size-wise. Now I'm just going to take a screenshot so I kind of know what I'm working with. All right, good. And I can kind of trim the back. So if that is my upper limit, see, the problem is we only have 1x2s to kind of cut the back. And I'm not going to do a ton of XMLing or any XMLing. So they actually have pretty flat tops on them. And so let's go ahead and let's start cutting out what I just put in there, because they actually kind of have it's almost like a cover on there. And we'll cut that out, and then we'll kind of sculpt the top. So this top has a little bit of shape on it. I'd like to do a little bit deeper on this. Let's see what I can do here. Let's cut. This may be a mistake, but let's see what I can do here. I doubt I can go 2s in here, but yeah, see, I can't go 2s in there. All right, we'll go back with that. It's not a big deal, but all right, so we're gonna do 1x's in here. Yeah, so it's gonna have to be 1x. Not the end of the world here. All right, so that looks actually pretty accurate, how it should be. Should be able to do some painting and some detailing, get that looking a little bit more correct. Now, the problem is they slope down after this, so I have to put a little bit of a flat section, and then let's cut out this midsection again. All right, and then I need to start sloping it back and down just a little bit, so kind of cut all that out and expect to cut down with pretty much the only tool we have, which is a 1x4. See how, like, it's just so fast. It just slopes so quickly because it's only a 1x4. So I'm probably going to only want to slope it down to maybe there. All right. All right, so we'll pick it up. Where are we picking it up? Right there, right there. And so the cut-in for the seating and whatnot will be in here. So the cockpit will be in here. The front of the cockpit will be here where the height change is. So height change comes in there. Let's get rid of this outside view. And then I at least want a couple on the rails here. So I'm trying to think. 1, 2, maybe there. So the floor pan of the cockpit is there. And then we'll go into engines. Will be in the back there. And then we'll put kind of the front of the cockpit area right like so. Seats. And so the seat will be here, and they're usually up on a little bit of a pedestal on the driver's side. So, and we'll put a step in here, so the cockpit will be sitting up a little higher. They go in full seats because, you know, the sucker moves. And there'll be a little bit of a windshield in there. So probably there, and all right, so let's go ahead and we'll put up the upper deck here right on the cockpit. We'll go there. All right, and we can cut out some of this here. And we can cut from there out to here. All right, and this will give us a little bit of bow space. Again, this isn't supposed to be a, you know, a sleepy boat. This is supposed to be a sleeper boat that you go racing with. So, all right, and then we'll put a couple on this side, a couple. Usually, they often have bench seats, so we'll just stick a couple there. I might bench seat them out, and then what you'd kind of quintessentially, you'd have a whole row of seats back here. I'll end up probably putting padded seats, but I'm just kind of getting good spatial awareness in here. All right, so that kind of outlines it for me where we're looking. But that's looking pretty good there, I think. This should give me more than enough space for engines. Let's go ahead and we will give ourselves a little bit of space there. All right, so I think this is doing well. And then you're going to have the walk down here. So might do the walk down back here. We'll have to see how I want to do that. I might do it behind the seats, so actually do like a walk down. But that's kind of the boat shape, I think. Looking pretty good there. So let's go ahead and spawn. See what we're looking at. All right, nice. So this is actually balancing pretty reasonably because we're going to put a bunch of mass in the back for fuel and engines. That should balance that out. Okay, nice. All right, so let's get working on... How am I going to do screws is the question. Do I want to actually do inboard outboards? I'm thinking inboard outboards. It looks like they're all inboard outboards. I'm going to probably do 3 motors. So let's get working on those inboard outboards, and let's put a transom back here. So it's usually a couple down is where the transom starts. So we kind of expect a transom here. And so I'm looking at a transom right now, and it's kind of just trying to get the shaping right. And so it's usually just something to protect so that you don't fall down on the propellers. Of course, I didn't put symmetry on. Let's put some symmetry on and get moving there. So I go there. I'm trying to just count out. Trying to see where I'm going to end up here. This would be just a flat section for going into the transom. So there's the transom. It can go down if it needs to, but I'm going to start banging in the engines. All right, so I want fully articulable props. So let's do pivots, and I want to take off symmetry so I don't have to invert them. We want power pivots so that I can transfer the power of these. Trying to see, right there, there. Okay, why am I off here? Start in the center and then I won't be off. All right, so there's my 3 screws. And they're going to be inboard, outboards. I really don't want them that long. So maybe 2 buys. So there's 1, there's 2, and then prop. Probably end up doing small props. I think medium's going to be too big. Could just do azimuths on there. Let's see. Let's delete that off. Let's do smalls. For now. And I don't want this to have collision problems, but that would be... That'd be kind of what what they'd look like there. Cut this a little here. Let's cut this just a hair. Give us a little space. Do a little bit of a cut transom here, like so probably. I don't have symmetry on, which is grand, but whatever. Fix it in a second. All right, now let's see if I can fix this corner up a little bit better. All right, so that's better. Let's go ahead and stick symmetry on so I can do this 9 times over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, come on, man. Just drag it. There we go. All right, so that's shaped out a little bit better. I'm not sure how I want these yet. I'm kind of thinking like this. I like the look of that. This shouldn't interfere. All right, good. So that's kind of what I want with these. So I'm just gonna grab, oh, get out of there. Grab the whole unit. And we're gonna copy that. We'll stick that one in the center, stick that one in the center. And then often when you're doing azimuths like this, or you're doing fully rotational ones, they would have trim tabs on these anyway. What do we, let's try mediums. I don't know how big the mediums are. That's excessive. I don't know. Let's see how these run. I think I'll run them like that. That'll probably hit if it's on the interior one. They're going to turn in unison. I think those are just enormous. differential between these is quite big, so this way I can put them on all of them, and they will stick on all of them. There we go. All right, so that has little trim tabs on each one. So as that turns, these will control it like I've done in other builds, and that way it will keep it from misbehaving. All right, and so often, what are those threes? Of course, the threes, because we don't have any threes, so let's grab wedges. And let's go like that, like that. All right. So kind of trying to dress up the inboard outboards a little bit. Ah, come on, man. I have to cut that anyway, so it's not the end of the world. All right, let's try pyramids, see how I like them. Yeah, they're very sharp, these corners on there. Can't do anything about it, so let's just leave them squared up like they were. All right, that looks all right. Most of that's going to be under the water, too. I try not to sweat that too much. It's just like, I'm not going to see them. But, so this is a triple screw. And then where are we at? There. Nope. Let's see. We're at there. There we are. And let's grab the middle. Beautiful. So that is where our motors go. And so we're going to want to face the engine. The likelihood that we get 3 gearboxes, I would say, is near nil, but that's going to be 2 gearboxes and then a reverser. So that looks pretty good. I think that's probably where we're gonna be. Let's start building in modulars. So with it being a race boat, I think it's probably best not to put flywheels on. It's going to give me a little bit more dynamic engines, so they're a little bit easier to change over. All right, and then I'm going to kill symmetry. Let's build one up. And I'm going to make some monsters here. And often what you do is this back section will lift up on hydraulics or on pneumatic rams, and then you can climb down in there and you can work in your engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay. So these are going to be 24s, so 3 24s. So this sucker should scream. And so, one of the reasons why the displacement on these engines are huge as it is, but one of the reasons why end up needing more cylinders than you need in real life is we can't change the bore and the stroke. And because we can't change the bore and the stroke, we can't change displacement. And as they say, there is no replacement for displacement. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do dual starters just to get a faster start. And we'll go like that. Okay. I'm trying to get as many of the parts so that I'm ready to go to duplicate these. So we want to... All right, I'm already having an issue here with gearboxes. I think the best way to do this here. So let's cut out gearboxes really quick. So I want to get these set up right. So let's go. I'm going to try to essentially up-spec the turbo on this, or wouldn't be a turbo, it would be a supercharger on this. And so it will go through the gearboxes first, and then it will give me maximum boost, we hope. And we want to face in the engine to increase RPS. increase RPS, and I put that on the wrong side because I thought I was going to go the other way first. All right, and this will go forward like so. Could go vertical with them. Yeah, let's go vertical with them. I have vertical space, so it'll look a little goofy, but it'll work. All right, so that will go up like so, and then I'm trying to think if I can cut it down. I don't. It's just going to be very tall. Let's cut off that. Let's go right side. And we actually want it pre-reverser. That's just going to be a standard reverser. So let's actually delete that. Stick the reverser here. Doesn't matter which way the reverser goes, so we'll turn the reverser the other way. That way I can up gear if I need to, but I doubt I'm going to need to. All right, so I just need to run 2, and then I can pull a turbo off of it. So just thinking about my space concerns as early as possible. So what we'll do is we'll go like so. This can have a block in there. I don't need that there. I'm going to turn back around. We're going to go another one facing the engine. Then what we're going to do is we will go up like so. So I need a pipe angle corner. Pipe angle corner, please. Okay, and that's going to go into the impeller. And what is that? That is, of course, that's fluid in, and this is fluid out. So this will be, I'm just going to stick an air filter on there to remind me that's what it is. That's not going to stay in here, but that's going to tell me, hey, that's what that's for. Yep, I know what that. All right, so that's going to up gear it, and that will give me more, hopefully more boost. You know, I want this sucker to be a screamer. Okay, so I think we're good here with the air. Let's go fuel. Fuel's not a huge deal. Fuel can just go anywhere. That's fine. And then exhaust. So they're wet exhausts. So what they do is they pump water in, and then it will come out the back here. And so we have 1, 2, 3. I need space for 3 wet exhausts. Subwater line. So let's try. Right there. Perfect. Okay, good. That's really good right there. So let's go. Can't go fluid port there. Let's see. Let's cut them into here. So a cut right there. That'll be my exhausts. We'll do rams just for funsies so they look cool. There are my 3 wet exhausts right there. They'll often have them coming right out by the engines. So I could cut them right here. Let me see. Actually, that's where they're going to go. I'm just looking at the pictures, you know, of what I'm working with, and kind of, they tend to be pretty cool. They blast water out as they're doing it because they're wet exhaust. So they inject water in for cooling. and then it mixes with the exhaust, and then it spits out water and exhaust. And in the picture I'm kind of looking at, they're all on one side. They're on the right side. You wouldn't want counter rotating because you don't want to turn the engine all the way around to make it work. So. All right, so that is plumbed up pretty quickly. Let's do manifold. They're going to be pack colored engines for my brand. And we don't need all four, but I will throw 4 manifolds on here because why not? All right, so I think the shell of the engine is pretty good up and running. Let's go ahead and I don't want them inverted. I want them symmetrical, and you would have to turn the crank the opposite way to make the propeller go the opposite way. I'm not interested in that. I want them all turning, the screws turning the same way. I want them to be realistic. So let's go ahead. I think I have everything. Copy that. And should be able to get it right in place. That good? That's perfect. Okay, paste. And paste. And I'll merge these up, and then I'll fix any issues I probably have. Let's go in here and get rid of that. That can go. Is this hooked up correctly? I don't know. No. Okay, I pushed this one too close to the wall, so the last one needs to come 1 block in. Okay. So let's grab this one again, copy that, and not push it too far over. So right there. All right, beautiful. All right, so that should be good. I can delete that, and I should have one to delete here. Excellent. So I think those are hooked up pretty well plumbed there. So there are 3 screamers, we hope. All right, and so fuel is probably going to go right under the deck here, so that's kind of a nice little coincidence there. That will put it close to center of gravity. I want to drag the center of gravity aftward, and so that's going to help with that. And then real simple here. Spawner. And I want a meter. All right, let's plumb these in. I'm going to probably change where the fluid... it gives me a little point of interest to kind of see where they're at here. So let's go. Cut you. Cut you. Cut you. Grab some fluid ports. All right. All right, so there are 3s plugged in. So we have air, fuel, and exhaust. Air needs to, of course, move. So I'm going to try to decide how I want to do this back. So often the back section here would actually stick up a little bit. Partly for aero, because if you figure you have, the air wants to go over, and then this would cause a swirl. So this is actually going to stick up a little bit more. So I have to kind of work this up a little bit here. Meet the headrests up there probably. So let's see. All right. So I don't think the back is not going to come up. Here is going to go up. Let's see. I want it tall. Let's see. How to do. Let's finally put on frickin' symmetry, man. All right, there we go. Fix that in a second. Then this goes here like so. Go block in here. See how this looks. I think it kind of ruins the line. Yeah, it's ruining the line doing that. So I think we'll just keep it like that. Put some detailing in there, put some words on there, but I can't get like, if I could get a, however long this is, if I could get like a 1 by 11 block, that would be perfect, but I can't, so I'm not going to worry about it. I could XML something, but that's down the road if I do it. Let's throw a little bit of paint on here, see how we look. And so should be able to get a cool paint job on here. Let's kind of just using a reference, and then I'll probably end up changing up colors as I see fit. So as is good with a racing boat, you want a racing stripe. So trying to see where I want my cut lines. So this goes all the way to the back, and this white topped. So let's try to color it up. Give me a little bit more interest in the build, kind of move us along a little bit. So goes down here, and then so I'm just following some reference material. And then the red transom. So you can have some really absurd coloration on a boat like this. That was the thing with cigarette boats, is it was all about, like Miami Vice decadence, That's what was great about them. Was they were just very cool, And so like the back transom, you could see some, and then those will be, the motors will be black. I think we can finally do a little bit of that. And then I think we'll carry the red to here. I think we'll cover it. I don't know if I want to go all the way up anymore. I think there is good. And then it has kind of like a white top on it. So I'm sure I can try to get some sort of painting in there a little bit. The issue is I can't really drag up on here. So kind of, let's try to do that. See how that looks. Paint up here. I want this to kind of have a stripe look on it. So I think I want this to be a different color. The white always looks strange, so it might be different colors, but we'll see what it looks like, when I finish it up. But put a couple contrast colors on there. Kind of getting it just, this is going to be underwater, so I hate that angle there, but it won't matter to us here. And then this can be, I didn't want to do that. Let's go, keep the red, and then go, oh, come on, man. Gotta actually press the button, dude. Go like that, bingo. All right, and then we'll go red here, red there, red in between, red underneath, because often it was fiberglass, and then we'll go black. All right, on all these. That gives us a little bit of contrast as well. Oh, come on, don't do that, guy. All right, so that's looking pretty good there, I think. Let's dump it in the water, see what we look like. See how it's sitting. So see, it's sitting very nice now. And that's all that mass is going in the back. And we have a lot of diesel sitting right here where I want it. So beautiful. Sitting nicely here. So we shouldn't really need to do a ton of ballasting. It's rocking nicely. The screws are already perfect depth. Nice. And this will require some painting work. My painting skills are not grand. But let's go ahead and let's go FB. And I'm going to put a little bit of a windshield nub on there anyway. So let's go. Let's go raise that a block. Go like this. And I think I'm actually going to be able to fix this a little bit better here like that. Let's go ahead and we'll do go like so, and then we can actually start the way back down back here. So I should have deleted 4 more blocks. All right. All right, so that's looking the business there. That's looking the nasty business right there. And then they just have a strip of glass for you to look over the top of. And it's going to be as wide as, I'll probably XML something at some point, but it's going to be a 1 by, try maybe a 2 by even. So it is really that thin. I'm looking at one, and that's how tall it is. It's not super duper tall. Maybe a 2, but I doubt a 2. I think a 2 is too tall. Yeah, it's definitely a 1. It would just be because, when you're going fast now, the wind's going to hit this. It's going to actually go up and over. Like my windshield on my motorcycle, I look over it, I don't look through it, and the wind never touches me because air comes in, air ramps up, and it's deflected, and it goes over your head, and then it would come back for a swirl back here. So you actually don't really need all that much. Let's go. How many blocks is this sucker? That is 13 blocks, which is not really divisible by anything, which is kind of a pain. Let's see where we're at here. So I can do a 2 by 1 by 1. Okay, I want a 1 by 1, but I want to get more, so let's see. So that'd be 9. So I could do a 12. If I do a 1, I can XML this. So let's do a 1 and XML it. So I'll show you the XML here and see what we look at here. Maybe I can even do up 1 by up a half. So let's grab Strunner's tool. All right, so it looks like with Strunner's tool here, the block's going to start sideways, so you need to keep that in mind. And then I want to go 13. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's go 1, 13. That's not the one either. 13 right here. There we go. All right, so that will stretch that across as a single pane of glass. This is going to be too big there, so you see, problem is we have 13. It needs to stretch to 13. Yeah. So let's see. Could do 2 6s and a 1. That would be 2 6s and a 1 in the middle. I could stretch it out to 12. Let's look at the game. So trying to get an idea of how I want to do this. So If I go to, where the hell is the 3? There it is right there. All right, so that would be... If I stretch these two on the outside, let's take a look at that. I think. So 3 would be 12s on the, and then actually I could put a corner piece on there. That might actually be all right. So let's try stretching this one. So let's go ahead and save this. All right, nope. All right, apparently I started another cigarette boat. So let's go ahead and take this, and I'm just going to line it up like Strenner's tool had it, and then I'll go ahead and I'll delete that. Go ahead and save this. Let's see, window 3 by 3 by 1. 3 by 3 by 1, save that. All right, now I'll open up the XML. All right, so let's go ahead and right here, probably this one here. I probably screwed up here, and let's try multiplying by 3. It's probably going to want a -3, but let's save it. Let's load it and see how it looks. So it moved in the right direction. It's just turned sideways. Let's go ahead and we will start a new one. And I'll put the window facing forward. All right, and I'll save that over the top of it. All right, and then right here, we'll make that a 3, update that, save it. All right, and then we'll load it in. There's the new window. Let's grab it. Grab the cigarette boat. I really do 3. So let's keep increasing that. Let's see if we can get all the way across and not have problems. All right, so 4 gives us the 12, makes sense. So let's grab this in the center and paste it. All right, that's good. Let's see if I can find any windows that I want to put on the edges here. I don't think I really want to put anything on the edges here, but we'll see. Because again, it's just to send the whole point of it's just to send the air up and over. You don't really need anything on the edges there, so yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it like that. Let's see how it looks looking through that. Make sure it's not like that I'm not looking right at a bezel. Maybe a little bit bigger on that. It looks a little goofy. It's that small. So let's go ahead and I'll go in the XML real quick and see if I can't raise it up a little. All right, so here's the new window. I also increased the height of it a little bit. So let's try that. How's the bottom lip look? That should be flipped. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see, I made it a little bit taller too, so let's try that. Where's the middle? Come on, let me grab it here, guy. Where are you? There we go. All right, so I need to do this. So we need to stick a block on the top. If I can find it where it's going to want to attach. It doesn't really want to attach is the problem. Will you attach the sides? You will. Okay, now it's not going to attach there. So I have to find where the center is. So let's go All right, let's do merge. So grab the center here. Eventually I'll be able to grab it. Let's try to grab from the side. Nope, nope, nope. Trying to grab it, trying to grab it, trying to grab it. All right. Doesn't want to grab anywhere. So let's try to grab it again. It doesn't want to grab anywhere. I'm not certain about that. So actually, I want to do a different window. Let's go ahead and I want to keep that angle too. So let's do a 3x1 by 3x2x3. Do we have a 3x2x3? No, I want a 3x. I want a 3x2x1, frankly. Let's see where are we at here. Could do that. That'll give me wider bezels. 3-1. Yeah. Could do this. Let's try to do this, see if how this stretches out. Not necessarily sure about how I want that to be. That's not the right one. Nope. Yeah, so let's try this. See what I can do with this. It is a really thin window, the one that the cigarette boat has. So let's try this here. Let's save this. And I'll get back when it's fixed. All right, so let's bring this window in, see how it looks. That's better, I think. There we go. It's definitely way too tall, but it's more practical. It's definitely too tall compared to how it should be, but it definitely it's too big. It's more practical, but it doesn't look right. So I'm gonna grab the other one, and we'll work with that. It's a detail I can always change if it's a pain to me later. Now I wanted to fix this one. Yeah, let's fix this one. All right, so I think that's the one I'm going to work with here. And so what I want to do is I want to get in a corner piece here. So we'll go like that. Just do it as red for now. That way it's easier to color swap. Cut that, cut that. All right, so I think this is going to work out a little bit better here. Yep. This is a little bit funky in there, but kind of digging it. That's a little bit funky right there, but it's not terrible. What I could do is do this. Let's cut that. So see what this looks like. Probably not, but we'll see. I'll keep the silhouette looking pretty good there. It's not too bad. I'm not hating it really. So let's get it in that world and see how it looks in there, how I feel like sitting in it if my peripherals are too screwy. That's not bad. Looks pretty good actually. It's not bad at all. Good peripherals there. A little bit of a wind shield to force the air up and over us. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good. All right, nice. So let's start working on a little bit of the dash. So it will go. Have a little step dash like so, and then it will wrap around this like that. There we go. That feels like a little bit of a cockpit now. And then do we do a full tunnel? We probably, I can't really do too much of a full tunnel anyway. So I've cut it in there. Trying to see if I can do a tunnel in here. So let's cut these seats. Expect to go like that. Okay. Cut across here for now. All right, and that'll be the tunnel to get down in, but we definitely need one more space off of this seat here. So 1, 2 there. So we can cut towards here. So let's cut here. So this would be the tunnel to get down into the lower level. Yep. So I'm trying to think the best way to do this here. So we definitely don't want to step up there. So let's go cut you there. And then this will go kind of segment us in here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Start putting this in. All right, so let's get this step in here. It is, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and this is full length in here, so perfect. So we can actually stand up under here, which is kind of cool. All right, nice, and we'll make the full tunnel in here. Where's that door? I want a full-size door there. And ideally, you'd want it to go this direction. So there we go. Look at that. All right, nice. So that would be the tunnel in for there. And then is that it? That is on center point. Beautiful. That's on the center. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it on the center or not. So this is shaping up really nice. I'm enjoying this. There we go. So there's our center tunnel to go down into the under. I'll just put another one of these seats up here, and it will sit in the same footprint as this one, like so. And then we'll have our passenger seats down here will be a bench, so let's bench these out. Often they'll have them facing the opposite direction too. This is going to not be red in here, so I'm just going to color that off. I'll figure out an interior color in a second, but yep, so that's feeling cozy and nice in there. And then do seat backs and then a bench. Often the seats are very well contoured because you need to not fall out of them, because this is an offshore racing boat, so they go offshore with big waves and they go very fast, and so they'd be pretty well contoured here. So 1x2 pyramids there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I can't do that both ways, so what I'm going to do is so something like that. Kind of built-in seats, and then I'll put headrests. All right, nice. So that's kind of those built-in seats. It's looking good. All right, nice. So this is coming along pretty nicely here. Just trying to think what I wanted to do there for a second. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's kill that, and then there we go. I think that's the shape for that. I'm digging it. Starting to come together nicely here. Go in here and block out a space. So put a couple storage things in there. And then where do I want the end of the space to be? Let's see. Go pyramid here. I think the best way to finish this off. So let's go there, up to the top, and then go down to there. That'll square that room. Square out this room like that. That gives us a square space in here. Probably put labs under here or something. We can cut that corner. Yeah, we can cut this corner like so. We can probably come back even more. Let's go all the way to the corner of that block there. Just want some square walls so that we can put in a bed. We can bridge some of this. Let's actually undo all that, and I should be able to bridge some of this for the bed. Let's put the beds in. That's going to kind of inform some of where my space is. So make some symmetrical beds in here. So the bed will go there, and that will give me some space. Trying to see, I can't go beds feet to feet here. Can't do that. Nope. So that'll be kind of a cabinet there. This will go up like so. That'll come across there. Foot of the bed's there. You know, these are supposed to be cramped anyway. So they kind of have that like camper-esque type of thing where they're really, what the hell is this? Why is this all in there now? I must have just cut that in right now doing some nonsense. All right. So there's beds there, and then we can go probably all the way up to here. And maybe make like a seating area in the front. Do lav and something else over here. In the corner here, maybe. Maybe do a lav in the front. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And so that kind of continues the wall all the way up to here. All right. And then this will be more of that cabinetry there. And then I can kind of do a little bit of sculpting here. Now, there we go. Kind of like that, I think. Show a little bit of hull shape in there. All right, so let's do wedges. Try to just get a little hull shape in there. We'll see how it looks. Might look donkey and not want it at all, but I can't put that there, can I? Probably not. Now the bed's going to block that from going there. I don't want to go one more piece in the bed. I don't know. Could do, just do cabinetry here, I think. Yeah, do cabinetry like this. Right, we're going to need one more level so I can get paint blocks in there, but that'll be cabinets and whatnot there. on either side. Probably can't really. We could fit maybe a head in here. So often you have to step up into the head anyway. So just kind of fill this room out as the head. Yeah, so we'll put a step up into the head right here. That'll be the head. Yep, so that's a good little bit of shaping in there, so this sucker should be fun to run. Yeah, so I'm digging on this. Let's plop it in the world, see how it looks. So should be able to get 3 engines in here. They're big old engines. They should operate pretty well. Why are you doing the flood glitch? Did I pop a hole in you? No, I didn't. It's doing that glitch, so. Doing the glitch. So. So I'll have to come up with a solution to fix that glitch. I'll come up with something to fix that, but I think it's looking pretty good so far, so let's go ahead and save it, and I think we'll call it there. So I'll do a bunch of work on this. Do a bunch of work on this off screen, get the engines up and running. Maybe knock out some of the paneling on there, but I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.